Yay, good morning.
Good morning. Hey.
Hey, so I have to tell everybody that's watching. I
Okay.
just have my glasses on because as I'm setting up, I have my glasses on because I can't really see a lot without them. And but when I come on here, because I take them off not for vanity, I take them off because, as most of you know, it's the ring light, right?
Yeah.
But what I've noticed now is my eyes have gotten worse.
Oh,
So
that's
I
fun.
used to be able to see some of you. Now you're kind of just like a big blurb.
Hello, I'm a beautiful blur.
But I can see your red lips.
It's
So
okay.
that's something. That's all that matters, right?
And you can hear me, and that's all that
I
matters.
can hear you and I kind of know where you are, but so I really have to figure out, I guess, I have to get anti. So somebody, if anyone out there, is there any way you can coat your readers with like an anti-glare so it won't like,
Oh, I wonder.
because if I go and search anti-glare glasses, they're like really ugly. And my glasses, I like my glasses. They're kind of cool, right? But see the ring light?
Yeah, exactly.
So I need these coated so I can wear my glasses.
There must be a way.
There must be, and not having to buy ugly little ones. And
Yeah.
because I don't wear prescription, and please, if anyone has a suggestion about prescription, don't send it because, as Stacy can tell you, I probably have about, I don't know, 500 pairs of glasses. They're everywhere in the house. And when we go shopping, I still look for glasses.
We literally go into Winners.
Yeah,
I can't remember what day it was. And the first thing she does, like she literally, like we go to the same one, we turn left and she goes to the glasses. And I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm looking for glasses. I'm like, you have 5 million pairs.
But you see, I like big ones, right? I wish I could find bigger ones than this. And when you wear inexpensive readers, they usually don't last that long. Well, for me, because I just kind of throw them. But so anytime I see them, I just buy them because it's very hard to get big ones. So if anyone has a suggestion,
anti-glare that we can paint on.
Yeah.
There we go. And for eye people, if it doesn't exist, good business.
Good business. Maybe
good business idea for you.
Oh, why shouldn't we should sell it? We should sell it in our new store that's opening shortly.
Anti-glare paint on yeah. Well, okay. We'll figure that out.
We could put that because when we teach everyone how to do videos, right? Which it would be great if I found a solution to something that.
Because that's my issue. Because I've had a lot of people, because I'll put on glasses and somebody asked me if you can see the ring light in my glasses.
Yeah.
Somebody said, how do you not see the ring light? And I'm like, well, the ring light has to be high and I've got to like angle my glasses down. And
it takes a lot. And when you're in a kind of quasi setup like I am, you don't have the luxury because right now I have half a ring light sitting on 2 books and a tiny little desk. So there's nowhere to put anything in. And I have to put the light on because the light down here is not very good. Right. So I'm improvising.
Always improvise. I should have. So we did a couple of recordings for our programs last week. I can't remember what day it is anymore. Last week. And our setup was funny. Like we had like boxes and then we had like a book over here and we had something on here. Like you just makeshift it, right? Yeah. Like that's the beauty of video is that no one sees the other side. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it was what was cool about it. And we just, we were together. The studio's not exactly finished yet because we need a high desk, right? So it's getting there, but it was interesting because we have a screen in the back and we put an image of a city that we really like. It was just a really pretty city in the background because we're going to use obviously the screen to do some training down the road and it's easy for us.
Yeah.
But when you looked at the picture, which I didn't realize was I got a DM that day from a friend and said, what city are you in? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just up north. He goes, well, where? I don't understand. What city are you in? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm in the studio. And then when you looked at the picture, it looked like it was the window and the city was in the background, which was so cool. I wish we were there.
I want to be in that city. I don't even know what city that is, to be completely honest. We just really like the picture.
It was just very cool. But it goes to show you that, sometimes like it didn't even occur because you actually posted the first picture, right? With that big in the background. It didn't even occur to us to think that that would cross someone's mind. That, like, we just assume they
would be a
know.
window. Exactly.
So it's interesting. So you really have to pay attention when you're actually doing something, because you don't realize how it looks
To somebody else. Because you know, that's the thing, is we see the whole picture.
Yeah.
But he only saw this much of it.
Yeah.
And like he saw the bottom corner, which I thought was really interesting. So
yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I had a very interesting customer service experience yesterday, and it could have gone two ways. So went to buy supplements. So I ran out, needed something. So when you go into a health food store or something like that, like, they know sort of the products, but not the specifics of the product company.
Right.
So for me, I don't know about you, but I always take a photo of what I want to buy, because it makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
Because I could explain the bottle. I'll probably forget the brand.
Yeah.
I might forget what it's for.
Exactly.
He's like, can I help you? I'm like, this. I need this. And I showed him on my phone. And he goes, oh, I think, and this is really funny. I went in a very, this interaction between me and the salesperson went in multitude of different directions. So he goes, oh, I think it's dizzy.
Is it dizzy?
And I went, what? He goes, I think it's dizzy. And I'm like, no, I heard you. I don't know what that means. I said, what do you mean by that? And he goes, oh, discontinued.
Ah, it's dizzy. Oh, I like that.
But it's like, he thinks, I don't know, does he think he's cool?
Yeah.
Do I look like somebody who you could say dizzy to? Like, I'm not.
How old was he? 12?
Well, he wasn't. That was the funny part. Like, he looked like he was probably in his maybe late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Which to me is, but still read the room.
You could use the whole word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dizzy. So I thought that was really funny. So I get that there is industry lingo, right? And we've sort of alluded to this in the past, but be careful using industry lingo. Like, if you're talking to somebody, a manufacturer or whatever the case may be, maybe him and the companies, maybe that's the word that they use.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful using industry lingo, because not everybody understands. Like me, I didn't know what dizzy meant.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, whatever. So we ended up having that conversation. He helped me with another product that I needed. So then at the end, I said to him, do you know the discontinued product? Do you know for sure? Is there a way you can check in your, is it not dizzy? Can you check in your computer? Do you have access? But he didn't. He goes, all I can tell you is that we don't have stock and I can't reorder stock, but I don't know, because he doesn't know the company, which I totally understand. So anyway, so I said, no problem. I'll check when I get home. Like, I can go on the website, I can check product. I have multitude of ways. Sorry. Yeah.
Order it from Amazon.
Exactly. I'm sure I can find out something somewhere about it. So anyway, I kind of left it. So like I said, it was a weird interaction. Like, he was super helpful on one side, not really helpful on the other, using industry lingo on the other. So I left and assumed that was the end of the interaction.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, my phone rings.
Oh, because he had a profile.
Exactly, right? So he knew my phone number. He called me. And he had taken the effort, which again, so I kind of appreciate this now.
Yeah.
He went the extra mile, which he didn't have to. He went the extra mile and he called them.
Wow.
To find out what the deal was. And then he called me and he says, well, actually, they are still making it. It's not discontinued. He used the full word this time. It's not discontinued. They renamed it and it's under a different sort of name.
Oh,
they
so they rebranded
it. Well, they're going to be getting it.
Hmm.
So it's all good. But I just thought, okay, so like number one, I kind of went in and he was like really good. Then he's using like weird lingo. So I kind of went like this, like kind of like go away. And then, but he helped me with one other product and that was good. And then it was like, so it was just kind of like a back and forth. Like I wasn't sure, am I happy here? Am I not happy here? Am I good or not? But in the end, he called me and he went that extra mile. So I was just really, you know what? Good for him.
Right. But what's the sad part of this story? That we are shocked when somebody gives us good service and goes the extra mile.
Right.
That's the shocking part.
And I was shocked.
You expect to get, especially here in Canada, I will say, service isn't that good. In the US, customer service is far, far superior in the US. Anywhere, in the restaurants, in stores, they are trained well. Not across the board, but they're trained better in the US and Canada. We don't have great customer service. Sorry. And when you do give good customer service, we have to call you out and say, wow, look. Right?
Well, it is shocking, but why do you think that is? Do they have more competition, so they feel like maybe they need to?
Well, I used to, because I worked in global retail, and our head office was the US, and it's okay. There's a couple reasons. There's one that I don't want to say out loud, but there's a couple of reasons. One is, there's more people, right? Yeah. Obviously. But remember, our background here is the British, right? And it's very much like that in the UK. It's very much not like in the US. How I describe it is, it's how y'all doing in the US, right? It's all about, hey, you know what I mean? Everyone says hi, you know what I mean? It's very different. And in the UK, it's totally opposite. Nobody says hello. No, like everyone's like, thinks you're weird when you're doing all that stuff. And we're kind of in the middle, right? So if you work, which is the truth, if you work for an American company, if you go to an American store, your customer service experience will be better. And when I had to train customer service here in Canada for my US company, I got so much pushback from people. Oh, I can't. Really? I'm not going to tell them. Like, if you're teaching them basic sales techniques about, icebreakers and opening and saying, what a great handbag, you know what I mean? Your usual opening kind of stuff. And they're like, we could never do that. That won't work here. Yeah, it does. Because people like being nice. They like being, they like it when you're nice to them. You know what I mean? So I kind of had, interesting enough, an experience yesterday to add on to yours, which is my friend needed to buy a cord for his laptop because he forgot it. Okay. So he said, just go get one. Can you just go get one? I said, no, we're bringing your laptop in because I like to try it there to make sure it works. Because it's, it's 25. Well,
there's a lot of different adapters and stuff like that. Yeah. It's not Apple. It's obviously a PC.
Apple would be no problem. Yeah. But anyways, and this is a universal charger. You're not going to get the one that's for the computer. So I walk in and I said, do you have these? And she's like, here you go. And I saw there's 3. She pulled out one. And I said, okay. And then it was just like, here you go. And I said, no, can we try it? Because I want to make sure it fits. So she took it all apart and then we put it in and it stuck out a little bit. And she's like, that should work. And I'm like, I'm not really sure about that because I don't want to come back, right? So I said, let's take the other brand. Let's take the other brand. So I got the other brand, took it out, fit much better. It was like a perfect fit. And I said, can we go now plug it in somewhere to make sure? Because we want to buy it. This is not we're not kicking tires. Yeah, no problems. She was very nice. So we went over there, we plugged it in. It charged excellent. So I was like, that's great. Yeah, we'll take it. So it was great. She's like, great, bring it over here. And so we did, and we bought it. And the person I was with said to me, wow, was she ever nice? And I go, what do you mean? Why? And he goes, well, because, she opened up the box and let us do it. And I go, no, that was me. I initiated it, right? She never offered to.
Yeah.
But I know that the store allows you to because I know the store. Right. But that's what I mean about trained customer service. What she should have done, and she was perfectly nice, so don't get me wrong. But what she should have done when she could tell that I was a little uneasy, she should have said, let's go plug it in here, or let's try another one. Let's see to make sure. I shouldn't have to initiate that. There was no one in the store. There were no other customers. There was 5 workers. There was no one in the store. Yeah. It's a blizzard. No one. But that's what I mean about our expectation. He thought it was great customer service.
But she just did the basic whatever.
She didn't argue with me. She just said, great. She just did what I asked her to do. But that's the whole point of customer service, right? You should be initiating. And the difference between a great experience is that customer service representative offers. They don't have to be asked. Right. What can I do? What, if that's just in your case, no, we don't have it, but let me show you something that is similar.
Yeah, and that was he didn't do that. It was very interesting because he knew I was there to buy something, and I'm sure that there's other products that are similar.
Right.
So he was kind of flippant on that side, which is why I kind of pulled back. But then, like I said, it was a really weird back and forth, but interesting because I had the same experience, but the guy did the opposite. So I went in, my dad had one point forgot his charger and he had his computer. So we did exactly the same thing. We brought the computer, help, we need charger.
Yeah.
And he opened up on his own 3 or 4 chargers. He goes, come over here. Let's plug them into the wall. Let's plug it into so that we know which one works, blah, blah, blah. So that was amazing.
And that's what you should do. It doesn't, you know, here's the thing. And I think this is the difference. What I really bothers me in customer service and retail in particular, is you are being paid to be in the store. You're not being paid to stand there like a mannequin. That's not what we're paying you for. We're not paying you to stand there so that there's somebody in the store. We're actually paying you to help the customer find what they need and allow them to buy it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And make it easy.
How many times have you, like, you know, sometimes you've walked into a restaurant and you can see that the waitress is like pissed off because she doesn't really want to serve anybody.
Like,
and you sit there and go, then do another job.
Oh, don't put them in my section. I don't want to work.
Like if you don't like talking to people, then don't take a job that you're face to face. Yeah, and you know, and please don't argue about, oh well, there's no jobs. Yes, there is. Go work in a factory, right? Go work somewhere where you move a widget and you don't have to talk to anyone. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the opposite too. Is out there. If you're a happy person that likes to talk to people, then go into retail, go into customer service.
Absolutely.
But please don't, like, you know, make it a chore to serve people. And you know what? I firmly believe that whatever you do, you should, you know, even if you don't love your job, just make sure you're good at it, right?
Well, and do it to what's expected of you. Like,
learn the skill, try to get better. Right? Yeah. What's wrong? So if you're in a sales job at, you know, whatever, Walmart, because you can't find another job, right? And that's all you're stuck doing. Okay, well, figure out how you can be the best person to do the cash, to stock the shelves, to whatever, because you know what happens? That person is the one that gets noticed.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, do you walk into, say, a clothing store? Right. And there's somebody that's hanging something up by the door and then you come in and they're like,
yeah,
no. And then they walk in the opposite direction and you're like, did I interrupt you? Like, should I leave? Like,
that's the difference. And mark my words, guys, when you're traveling through different countries, I want everyone to really pay attention to the different levels of customer service. And if you know a company, you know, where they're based, you will notice the difference too. So, because whatever, you know, wherever their home base is, that's what they make sure that happens around the world. But it's really kind of fascinating to me that, you know, our expectations are so low here, so low that, you know, we're grateful that somebody actually just does their basics of a job, which is really sad.
Which is basics of, like, answering questions, making it easy to buy, and ringing you through in a friendly manner. Like, but that's like bare minimum.
Right.
That's bare minimum. So yeah, you're right. You know, when I was shocked, I was buying lunch and the girl he had called because I just left the store and I was just going to get lunch. So I would just told the girls, just hang on one sec. This will be really quick. And I got off and I literally had this stunned look on my face and she goes, everything okay? I'm like, he was really nice. See, he called me back.
Like, yeah, you know, how, you know, that's just ludicrous. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. But then on the opposite front, you also don't want the hovering.
No.
Right? There is a happy medium. There's the check-in, you know, and then, you know, you go and you come or whatever, but you don't hover.
But I would say, you know, so I would tell you, because a lot of people goes, oh, I hate it when, the onus is on you. Right. Just say, I'm good. I'll call you when I need you.
Right.
And that's it. And then at least that person knows what you want, right? As opposed to, you know, so I get it. And it depends obviously on, you know, what kind of, if they're a commission-based salesperson, they're going to be, you know, and this is what I always say. So you guys feel free to use what I do. But if I go into a store that I know they're commission-based, right?
Yeah.
and they're trying to show me something, and I always put my hand up and I go, look, I get it. You're commission based, right? And they just kind of go, yeah. And I go, okay, tell you what, I'll find what I need and then I'll give it to you to ring up. Because I have no problem with them making a commission on me. I just don't, I'm okay. Like, I'm a smart girl. I don't really need a lot of help.
Right.
So, but I'm all for you getting a commission because at least you approached me.
Right? Exactly. At least you did something. And again, like we said, we're so surprised when something is part of their job, but we're wowed by, and then when we get bad service, we just go, yeah, figures.
Yeah. And when we still, being the polite Canadians we are, we just kind of ignore it. We still tip them. We still do everything because we don't really complain that much. And, but I mean, it is, for me anyways, I mean, I make a point of when somebody does give me good service, I tell them, I go, wow, even when they're in the grocery store, I'll always be like, wow, you are like the best grocery bagger. Cause there's terrible ones and there's really good ones.
Yes.
And when you tell them that, you know what, you made their day. You gave them a compliment because all they're doing all day is scanning and putting stuff in bags, right? And when you just like, you're thanking them, like, it's so nice that somebody actually puts all the frozen stuff together.
Well, it was interesting because I was in a store yesterday and I was just looking around. So but I was eavesdropping because, it's hard not to hear other people's conversations when you're by yourself. And this woman, so it also kind of goes on the opposite side. So this person who worked there was obviously had done a good job. So what the customer did, she goes, what's your name? And so the girl told them her name and she goes, because I want to go to a manager. I want them to know what a good job you've done. So I can use your name. Thank you, so-and-so. And I thought, you know what? That's really nice too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
From the opposite side, like being a good customer makes their day too.
Yeah, because and before everyone gets all riled up about, you don't know what we deal with. Yeah, I do. I grew up in retail. That's all I did.
That's all I did too.
I know what lousy, horrible customers are. I know what mean customers are. And again, what it comes down to is it's still your job. You chose to be in retail. You chose to be in customer service. So part of it is dealing with people that are not very nice. But they'll
also kind of go, oh my goodness, I had a nice customer.
Right.
We should have them stuffed.
I mean, there is one place, that I shopped probably 3 or 4 times a week for 20 years before I moved. And every single person, it's a little grocery bakery store. Everybody knows my name. Feel like Cheers. Every single person knew my name. Everyone had big smiles on their faces. Now I spent a lot of money there, but I was nice to everybody.
Right.
And that you can tell. And then when I didn't come, they're like, oh my God, where have you been? Is everything okay? I haven't seen you in a while. But that's, so there's something to be said about, every single experience, every single time you have an opportunity, you can be nice or you can be an idiot. So on either side.
Exactly.
Right? So I think, you should look after things like that. So I agree. Customer service. Anything else we need to talk about? I want to talk about, can I talk about something else I'm mad at today?
Go for it.
Okay. So you guys know I love to stream and I watch way too many shows because I don't sleep. Although I found this really fabulous app that everybody knows, but I just came to. But anyways, so there's in Canada, HBO and all those programs are on something called Crave, and you have to subscribe to Crave to get it, which is fine. They're terrible though. I mean, Crave is like not they're not user friendly, their interface, right? Okay. And there's a new show that I watched that I really loved. I can't remember her name, a comedian girl, somebody, somewhere, something like that. And I loved it. And I watched it a week ago, like Sunday, right? And they drop every week. So there's nothing at all under this show that tells you when the second episode's coming. No date.
You're right, because I checked it out over the weekend.
And it wasn't there. And I thought it was going to drop on Sundays.
And I watched on Sunday. So, I did watch it, though. It was a good show.
It was a great show. Why don't you tell people when the next one? So if you go to Netflix or if you go to Disney or if you go to Apple, they tell you when the next one airs. right?
Well, they've got the box and they've got like a little picture and they say coming, whatever date. Yeah.
This one has episode 2 with 0 information on it. No picture, just says episode 2. And I was Googling, I was trying to find it. And in the US, it says it drops on HBO on Sundays. Here, it says nothing.
That's interesting.
It really bothers me. And when you're like, you stream all the time and you really have to find new shows so I don't watch. Everyone thinks I watch a lot. I don't watch a lot. I watch a lot late. So when I'm not sleeping, I stream. So I don't stream during the day or even in the evening, not till around 8 or 9, but I usually stay up streaming. So if anyone
if you need any recommendations on streaming shows, she's your girl.
I'm your girl. Yeah, I'm just watching a new one now. But I'll tell you about my app. I told you, Stacy, and we can tell them what happened with it. So for those of you who have been with us a long time, I don't sleep much. I've tried and tried and tried. I've tried everything. Sometimes I went for 2 weeks without drinking wine because I thought it was wine, but it wasn't. Thank you. It wasn't wine. But I just can't. And some nights I don't sleep at all. Some nights I fall asleep at 3 a.m. and I sleep for 3 or 4 hours. Don't know why, but I can't. I'm a meditation teacher. I do everything right. I can't sleep. And so I was scrolling through my feeds and I thought, oh, you know what? It was kind of interesting. I know Thich Nhat Hanh. I've read all his books. He has an app from Plum Village, which is his group. And so I downloaded it for meditations. And unfortunately, the next day he passed away, which was very little spooky. But anyways, didn't work for me. I downloaded another one. Insight Timer already had it, but they have some new meditations. They did body scans and that, and I know how to do everything. I'm just trying to find something that works. I teach meditation. People, I teach yoga nidra, how to relax, how to do body scans. Everyone else is relaxed, and I can't sleep.
But you're relaxed.
So I was watching one of my favorite talk show is Graham Norton in the UK. If you guys haven't watched him on YouTube. He is so funny. And he always has a bunch of celebrities on his couch. And one day, Michael Bublé was on it, and Matthew McConaughey was there. And when Michael Bublé basically said to Matthew McConaughey, my wife and I sleep with you every night. And, he's like, what are you talking about? And Matthew McConaughey is on the app called Calm. And on Calm, they have meditation but they also have sleep stories, I think is what they're called, sleep stories. And there's like 200 of them, and different celebrities read bedtime stories in really nice voices, right? And I'm like, okay, to heck with it. I'm just gonna like, I haven't slept all week. So I download it, and there's a bunch of people. There's Harry Styles and all these like really interesting. What was the basketball player?
LeBron James,
a bunch of them. Anyways, but I'm like, Michael Bublé said he sleeps with Matthew McConaughey. So I put Matthew McConaughey, the story's called Wonder, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't get through 5 minutes of it and I fell asleep. And it was like, I slept all night. And I was like, what the hell? Like, that cannot possibly actually have happened. So I went and told Stacy, and she was here. And so that same night, I went back to bed. The next night, I went to bed and I was like, okay, I'm going to try somebody else. And I tried 2 other people, nothing. And I said, well, what are the odds that it's going to work again? So I clicked Wonder. And again, I made it like maybe 10 minutes even, not even really 10 minutes. And I fell asleep 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. And I tried it and I did the same thing. I was actually wanting to listen to the story because I wanted to know what it was. And it's about 30 minutes ish.
Yeah.
I think I got to about 8 minutes. Like I was listening to the beginning, but then his voice started to slow down and I was out and I slept. So there's something weirdly magical about
Matthew McConaughey and
his voice. I don't know.
So
or the story.
I
can't tell you what the story's about.
So 2 nights ago, I guess it was not last night, the night before, I said, okay, I need to understand if this is legit or I was just like, so I did not listen to it and I did not go to sleep. I went to sleep at 3:30 and I got up at 5:30. It was 2 hours. And yesterday I really couldn't, day before I really couldn't function that well or whatever. So I went back last night and listened again, and I fell asleep again.
So there's something that is so interesting.
Right? So I don't know what it is. There must be something in his tone. I don't know if I don't think it's the sounds behind the musical pieces, because I also listen to Harry Styles, and I listen to a girl, what she's in some band. I don't know. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, no, I can't remember. And nothing. And I didn't even like the stories. But there's something about that. So I don't know if you've done it since or you haven't.
I have not. But big shout out, number one, to Matthew McConaughey, which I kind of almost forgot because I have my standard one. So I'm going to listen to that one tonight. And a big shout out to Michael Bublé.
Yeah. Like if it wasn't for Michael Bublé, we better hashtag this thing.
Yeah.
He knows. If it wasn't for Michael Bublé, I would have never thought to listen to it. But because he said him and his wife slept with him every night, and I was like, wow, that means like more than once. Like they just continually.
But what was interesting is that they said they still, to this day, no matter how many times listen, they don't know the ending.
Right.
Which is the purpose of it. But fascinating that they don't know the.
Yeah, and you know, for those of you, just put it on your phone or on your Echo or whatever you're listening to, and then, you know, once it's done, it's done. It just stops. Like nothing else. It's not like YouTube or another video plays.
Yeah, that's the challenge with YouTube. I found that out because it was like I was listening to one, and all of a sudden I wake up to like rock music, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. Well, that was the really cool thing, because when I fell asleep the first time, like I said, 5 minutes. And then I woke up, you know, 5 hours later, which is like a whole night's sleep, guys. For me, 5 hours. It was fantastic. So the fact that I woke up and my phone was off, I was like, because I didn't know what to expect. I've never used it before, right? So it's like here it's like $100 the app, and but if you, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. Calm won't like me, but if you go online. Go on your computer. Don't do it on the App Store because it's not the same. If you go online and sign up for the free trial, or 7-day free trial, you will immediately, you're going to get an email with a coupon for like 60% off or something, 50% or 60% off, something like that, immediately. So if you sign through the Apple Store, no coupon shows up.
Right. Yeah. You have to do it on their site. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
If anyone is having a tough time, you don't even have to buy it. Just go and get the free trial and see if Matthew works for you. We want to hear from you.
Me too, because that's it. I was just so fascinated. Like I was like, no, because I've listened to other ones and I usually make it through. And the one time, like I said, I was like purposeful. I want to know what it's about. I want to know what the story is.
Yeah. I have no idea still.
I have no idea.
And I refuse to listen to it like during the day or anything, because I don't want to spoil it, because it might be like, that might be my sleeping pill.
Yeah, and it's a good one. So excellent. I'm excited. So yeah. So we have, what do we have coming up? We have a vision board workshop.
Yes, we have a vision board workshop coming up. We have, thank you guys for her already booking into our 1-day coach program. That one's really exciting. So have a look at that as well. And we have a whole bunch of other things coming up. Our mastermind's coming up in March, February, March.
Yeah. Yeah. Starts March 1st.
And we're just working on a whole bunch of other stuff too. So
yeah. Well, actually, it's really interesting. So next week, I want to talk about, remind me. So we're very excited because we're doing a photo shoot this week. We're doing a photo shoot tomorrow.
Oh yeah, not tomorrow. Yeah, we are doing it tomorrow. Oh my God, already?
So I'm going to see you later. But no, so I want to talk about branding, because I don't want to do it yet because I want to show. But like everyone knows that our social media person makes some recommendations, but this time she made a very specific one. And it's interesting because, again, when you live in your business like we do, sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. So, you know, we were working on some stuff, we were working on some sites, and we just went, ugh.
Yeah.
And we didn't know whether it was just like we were tired of the photos. The site's beautiful. Like the graphics, like everything was beautiful, stunning. She does an amazing job. But the pictures of us, we both were like, ugh, which is what prompted us to want to do photo shoot, blah, 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 blah. And but she was very specific with one thing. So I'm going to leave that as a little bit of a cliffhanger because I want to be able to show it, because I think it's going to be really interesting what we've come up with in regards to how the brand's going to look.
And what's really interesting is she's also been harassing us for over a year for a photo shoot, right? Like every time literally every week, she's literally saying, you guys need a photo shoot. And we always go, yeah, because we're so busy. And then finally, we finally went, yeah, we need a photo shoot.
When we see it, because we're like, no, it's fine. But it got to the point where even us were like, ugh. And you get tired of your photos. You get tired, and that's why you need to keep doing photo shoots. You need to keep your photos refreshed.
Yeah, and I know that people, there's a lot of people that that come into the brand have never seen our photos or anything. So for them, they're all brand new. But if you're sick of your own photos, then it's time to add some more to the bucket, right? Like
exactly.
You'll use them all, but let's add some new ones. So we're hoping that we can get through that tomorrow.
And wish us luck. We'll be fine. We'll be exhausted, our face muscles. So at the end of the day, we're going to be like, I don't want to smile. I don't want to smile anymore.
This is my new look, guys. This is my Steve Jobs look in turtlenecks.
Yeah, it's just kind of turtleneck.
It just kind of came to me. I really I don't know where all my clothes are because we moved, right? And I've had everything's kind of back to where it should be except my stuff, because as a good woman, we always leave everything of ours to last. And so and I'm always like, oh, I need a jacket, I need this and that, and I just put on a turtleneck and I'm like, oh, this is why Steve Jobs only wore a turtleneck. It's so easy.
Exactly. Awesome. All right, well, have a good week and we will see you next week.